Hello, I'm Trudy Friend, and in this programme I'm going to show you how I approach the drawing of trees. And I'm going to use a Koh-i-Noor Progresso pencil. It's a lovely surface to work on if you choose something that's white and clear, and just ordinary copy of paper is fine. First thing I'll do is just get the feel of the pencil on this paper surface, looking how dark I can get it and what sort of texture is achieved. And you can see, even though it is a smooth white surface, there is quite a good deal of texture. Now this could be helpful in the depiction of the bark. I'm going to just go through one or two marks that actually help with bark drawing. The pushing and twisting and turning of a pencil can automatically give you an interesting texture for certain barks, the ones that tend to run roughly up and down a tree in a vertical way. Some of the bark that goes round the tree, I tend to go up and down grazing movement, over which I can then turn the pencil and draw the little textured marks that go round the bark. So the pencil can be used in various ways, twisting and turning for the twigs and branches. It's giving us some uneven thick and thin marks, so all you do is zigzag back and thicken them up to make them work, to give you the width of these branches and twigs and make them look realistic. So now I'll go on to the first of the tree representations. The first one I'm going to treat quite loosely and randomly to get the feel of how some of the trees go up in this reaching for the sky position, and it's just working very quickly up the paper with a few squiggles to get a feeling of growth. Having achieved one or two marks like this, I can then use those to come off and away from them to thicken them up to come down, and then up again, and looking for those angles to take off those branches, and then pull back down. And when I approach the back of one of these, I can cut in and leave that little light strip which brings one branch in front of another. I'm treating it very much as a silhouette at the moment, just so that you can be conscious of the negative shapes and the darkness of that silhouette against the sky. So I'm filling it in quite solid and looking for the branches to come off in this upward movement. Now if I was going to do that tree with a little bit more texture and light on the side of it, I would go up and down, getting that textured feel, letting it get lighter as I worked across, and then looking into it and trying to get those darks as lovely contrasts. So again, it's very much an erratic approach, up and down, and then even twisting one of these pencils, you can get onto the point of it and start looking into some of the shapes, working into those shadow shapes with the point and getting texture within that shadow. And even on the light side, hardly touching it at all, so that you get a really light highlighted side to your tree. You can either go down the light side with this very gentle on-off pressure texture stroke if you want the light sky behind, or you can work up to it. I look for the chisel when I do this, and I zigzag or crisscross up to it and define the light side by the dark I'm placing behind it. And these are put, push, pull strokes. And then I twist the pencil, which gives me some more supporting branches and twigs, and up to the trunk again, and up to the support here either side to give me a light form against the dark background of all those foliage masses. And I just push outwards, letting the pencil lift the pressure and get lighter as I work away from the tree. And that means eventually I can have white paper representing the lightest part of the foliage over here, and just put some dark behind if I want some other trees to be growing behind. So over here I could say there's something else growing up there, so I'll cut in behind that light side, and that gives me a highlighted side to the foliage. I'll bring that texture down here, letting the pencil lift, lift, lift until it's right off, and I've got the absolute light white paper helping me. Press and twist to give fissures in the bark and things like that, and then again up to the dark side and away from the dark side to make that stand in front of the background foliage. So I'm pushing away and then pulling back down to it. So that's my up to and away stroke, and that's establishing that light side against its background. By putting darks in behind other shapes, I can have light supports and I have counter change. And even further up you can have another bush or growing plant so that you can bring a little bit of light forward. And I could go into here darker to say that that's going behind it, and even over to the other side, and then start pushing out to have other trailing foliage the other side. And all that brings things forward and lets them go back and gets this three-dimensional feel to that tree. If you would like to get branches coming towards you or going away from you and get the feeling of foreshortening, you're going to have to think a little bit about the negative shapes that are going to be between the twigs. I'm going to start off with a very pale tone as I feel my way into this. So I'm just gently toning down to get the feel of where the main trunk will be. If you keep your toning very pale to start with, it gives you a chance to slowly envisage what you intend to do and which way it's going to go. I'm going to bring this branch towards me, so it's coming out that way, and it'll be a bit darker underneath, and then it's going to go back and cross this main trunk again. So what I'll have to do is think about toning up to where the light twig or branch will cross that trunk and away from it underneath. So I'm allowing now that little distance there to be the light branch that's coming across. It may be another one coming out to the side as well, and another one coming towards me, and this one going across. So I'm not exactly drawing an outline, but I'm just placing things to get an idea of how they're going to cross. So this one here might be wider, and another one coming out like that. So it's really coming towards me. Now if I take it across now to the back of the trunk, again I've got to think of coming up to that and away from it, above and below, and I might have another branch perhaps up here going away from me. So I'm going to tone it in solidly, very gently, suggesting that that one is going away over there. Now if I bring that mark down again this side in an uneven application to give the feeling of textured bark, I'm going to slowly feel my way round this branch. So these are contoured strokes that are following the form and thinking about how the branch actually joins the tree. And it's going to be dark underneath, so unevenly placed strokes underneath, and dark there, and up to this slender branch. And I'm going to do the shadow on the base of the branch and come across, allowing the dark up here to bring that branch in front of it, and then some more shadow underneath. So it's beginning now to come towards me, and when I mention the negatives, that's the shape that's important. Instead of the open negative going up horizontally as it would if the tree had its branches going upwards, I now have it coming towards me and foreshortening. It's a little bit of dark there, and then this one is doing the same sort of thing. It's flattening out and the twigs are smaller and come out at the end. And a little bit of tone here, and this one's going to go this way. And this one can come across again. But it needn't go all the way. So I would tone up to it there and away, and then a little bit of tone underneath and suggest it coming down again. So you can see how it's beginning to come towards you. If this were casting a shadow across the tree, you would just go up and down and let the shadow follow the form of the tree so that it was casting its shadow across that curved area. Want it dark underneath here again, and this one could have uneven strokes for the little twigs of it. So you can see how it's beginning to come towards you, and the other one's going to go away. So I put the shadow a bit up here and have this uneven little branch going away like that, very much flattened out so that we don't have it drooping down. We have it the feeling that it's coming towards you. So it's just a little method to show you how I build up, because I can always after that increase the tone or increase the texture if I want to say a certain type of bark, and I can build up and build up, but that's the way I think my way through the foreshortening.